Right, good afternoon and welcome to the Tuesday edition of Vulcan's European Outlook. It is the 18th of February and we do have a wintry picture out there, especially across higher ground of northern parts of the UK. You can see here the latest radar indicating that we have a mix of rain, sleet and snow, some freezing rain in some places across southwestern and western areas of Scotland. Further south, it is largely high and dry. We did see a fairly chilly start to the day, and the temperatures as of early afternoon looking like this here. So we've got 4 and 5 Celsius across southern portions of the British Isles, even milder across the southwest of Ireland. Then the further north you go over England and into Scotland, you can see here still holding on to low single figures close to the freezing mark in a few spots. These were the temperatures this morning to start off the day, and we did see a fairly cold start of the day, some -2s and -3s across parts of the South Midlands in the south central areas of England. A little bit less in the way of cloud, a little bit less in the way of cold further north, should I say, due to cloud cover and breeze. We did see a fairly mild morning across the southwest. But they get over to the continent, and it was probably the coldest start for several areas of Central Europe. We've seen temperatures close to -20 in the parts of Germany, in the parts of Poland. And I do think there was a sinkhole in far southern Poland. It was either this morning or it was actually yesterday morning. A temperature of -41 Celsius was recorded in this sink across the far south near the Slovakian border. So we're seeing the cold starting to build over central and eastern areas of Europe. This was made mention of for quite some time now. We've got one branch of the polar vortex dropping into North America. The other piece is now over central and eastern areas of Europe. It got so close yet so far in terms of the UK. This is how the month of February is looking, and it's actually pushing more into the colder than average territory. The next several days is going to see a sharp warm-up. We are going to still hold on to a chill through the course of today. But as you can see here off the GFS model, we start to see the blues change over to a reddy colour as we start to see the southwesterly winds really start to crank. We are going to increase in terms of rainfall. It has been a very, very dry February, for the most part anyway, across most areas of the UK and Ireland. That is going to change as we move into the latter half of this week, and you can see here that the reds replacing the blues. And then we see something a little bit less mild as we start to increase the strength of the jet stream over the Atlantic due to that polar air mass dropping south over eastern North America. That's going to tighten the thermal gradient and then strengthen the jet stream across the Atlantic. And eventually what's going to happen is we're going to start to pick up a cold polar maritime flow as areas of low pressure cross over the Atlantic and move towards the UK and Ireland. This is through the final few days of February here. So all in all, I think February is likely to wind up probably around average, maybe a fraction below average. And stay tuned, because in tomorrow's video we're going to be scoring the winter forecast, how it did versus the forecast that was put out. This is the upcoming 5 days of the GFS ensembles. This is the 18th through the 23rd of February. Milder than average across the west, colder than average across the east of the continent. And you can see here, this was the scene this morning taken by Chris at Braemar, Ballater, D-side and Donside Weather on Twitter. Beautiful snowy scene from the Braemar area this morning. And looking in terms of the winds, we're actually going to start to see an increase in winds as deep areas of low pressure move and pass to the west of the UK and Ireland. We've got high pressure that's essentially stopping these areas of low pressure from bodily moving across the UK and Ireland. We're seeing these lows getting deflected more towards the north. And it's that positioning of the pattern here with high to the east, low to the west. We've got a southerly airflow, but winds are going to start to crank as we tighten and squeeze the pressure gradient over the UK and Ireland. Even through the course of tomorrow, it's going to be fairly gusty as per the Met Office model here. This is that we're looking at the moment. It started off fairly calm under clear skies, hence why we've seen temperatures dropping below the freezing mark through the course of the overnight period, especially across southern UK. But you notice here as we move through Wednesday into Thursday and particularly into Friday, you can see here that the reds represent the wind gusts in excess of 70 mile per hour through the Irish Sea and the North Channel. Even some lee gusts are expected. We could see some very gusty conditions as these winds transfer northwards, and obviously this is promoting a much milder theme. You can see here by the time we reach even tomorrow, temperatures according to the Met model anyway is suggested. So these are even tomorrow morning. We're still down close to the freezing mark, a few degrees above, a few degrees below, depending on your cloud and breeze. But as we progress through the course of tomorrow, you're starting to see 6s, 7s, 8s, even across northern portions of the UK. We're already starting to see what is coming further south here, 12, 13 Celsius, down towards the Bristol area by the time we reach 14Z tomorrow afternoon. By the time we reach that same time Thursday, we are firmly in milder air once again. You can see here this is at 14Z, this is 12, this is 14. You can actually see at 13 Celsius on that Moray coast. We've got 11, 12 Celsius across the central belt. And then as you move into the borders region, 12. Further south, you can see even a 13 popping up across parts of North Yorkshire, for example, into Tyneside. So widespread 11 to 13 Celsius, a few 14s popping up in northeast Wales up into the northwest of England here. Then as we move into the day on Friday, an even milder day, we've got a 14 Celsius on the Moray coast. Wouldn't be surprised if we see a 15, even possibly a 16, believe it or not, with those strong southwesterly winds blowing over the top of the Cairngorms and the Grampian region here. We've got this downslope effect possible with maybe some brighter skies. We are going to see moist conditions running from south to north here, but you can get funky things happening when you've got strong gusty southwest winds and perhaps a few clear slots. So we are going to see a sharp rise in temperature as we move towards the latter half of this week. And this, I'm sure, will be welcome news for some. For others, you're probably not wanting to see this. In terms of moisture anyway, like I say, it has been a dry February, but you can see off the ECMWF that we are going to increase the moisture across western areas of Europe here as these lows kind of spin off a parent low that's over the central North Atlantic. At the base of the trough, we are seeing the development of new lows, and that is going to help generate moisture to get imported into the UK and Ireland. If we look more specifically at the British Isles here and Ireland, by the time we reach the end of the 24th of February, we've got rain totals well in excess of 100 millimeters over the western hills here, anywhere from southwest England, western side of Wales, into the northwest of England, southwest Scotland, up the west coast, and western sides of Ireland as well. So you can see the predominant flow coming in from a southwesterly direction, and then always drier the further east you go over the UK, as well as Ireland, when you've got this mean wind flow coming in from the southwest. And then we will start to see more westerlies generated towards the final few days of February as we start to see a stronger jet coming in. Keeping an eye on some of these areas of low pressure, they're starting to show a deeper trend. So the potential is perhaps there for borderline stormy conditions showing up. That would be expected given what's going on over North America and the overall pattern as well. So thanks for watching anyway, short and sweet. There is a change in the schedule coming up as of tomorrow. I am going to be traveling for the next day and a half or so, and then the videos will probably be released a little bit earlier in the day towards the end of this week. More on that coming up. So enjoy the rest of your Tuesday, and I'll see you tomorrow with more. Bye for now.